The Wilderness Journey, Joshua, and the Promised Land, from Testing to Triumph. After God delivered the Israelites from Egypt through mighty signs and wonders, He did not lead them directly into the Promised Land. Instead, He guided them into the wilderness, a dry, harsh, and silent land. This journey was not a mistake. It was a test, a preparation, and a transformation. The wilderness revealed what slavery had left inside the human heart. Though God had parted the Red Sea, the people quickly forgot His power. When food was scarce, they complained. When water was bitter, they grumbled. They said it would have been better to die in Egypt than to struggle in freedom. Yet God remained faithful. Every morning, God sent manna from heaven, bread that appeared like dew on the ground. It was enough for each day, no more, no less. Through this, God taught them to trust Him daily. When they were thirsty, God brought water from a rock through Moses. When enemies attacked, God fought for Israel. God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. His presence never left them. At Mount Sinai, God gave His law, not to control them, but to shape them into a holy nation. He gave instructions for worship, justice, and community life. He commanded the building of the tabernacle, a sacred place where His presence would dwell among the people. The tabernacle was placed at the center of the camp. This showed that God was meant to be at the center of Israel's life. Eventually, the people came near the edge of the Promised Land. Moses sent 12 spies to explore it. They returned with fruit so large it took 2 men to carry it. The land was truly flowing with milk and honey. But fear overcame faith. 10 spies spread fear, saying the land was filled with giants and strong cities. Only 2, Joshua and Caleb, trusted God and urged the people to move forward. The people listened to fear instead of faith. Because of this rebellion, God declared that the generation that doubted Him would not enter the Promised Land. They would wander in the wilderness for 40 years, until a new generation rose, one that would trust God. This was a season of waiting. During these years, Moses continued to lead the people. He interceded for them when they sinned. He taught them God's laws. He reminded them again and again that obedience brings life. As the years passed, Moses grew old. God told him that he would see the Promised Land but would not enter it. Before his death, Moses gathered the people and spoke words of warning, encouragement, and blessing. He reminded them of God's faithfulness and called them to choose life over death, obedience over rebellion. Moses died on Mount Nebo, looking over the Promised Land from a distance. Israel mourned him deeply. There had never been a prophet like Moses, one who spoke with God face to face. Leadership passed to Joshua. Joshua was a man shaped by faith, patience, and obedience. God spoke to him and said, "Be strong and courageous. Just as I was with Moses, I will be with you." Under Joshua's leadership, Israel prepared to enter the Promised Land. The first obstacle was the Jordan River. At flood stage, it blocked their path. God commanded the priests to step into the water carrying the Ark of the Covenant. As their feet touched the river, the waters stopped flowing. Israel crossed on dry ground, just as their parents had crossed the Red Sea. Their first challenge in the land was the fortified city of Jericho. God did not command them to attack with weapons. Instead, He instructed them to march around the city once each day for 6 days. On the 7th day, they marched 7 times, and the priests blew their trumpets. When the people shouted, the walls of Jericho collapsed. Victory came through obedience, not strength. As Israel continued to conquer the land, they faced battles, setbacks, and lessons. When they disobeyed God, they failed. When they trusted Him, they prevailed. Slowly, the land was divided among the 12 tribes of Israel, just as God had promised Abraham centuries earlier. Joshua led the people faithfully throughout his life. Near the end, he gathered all Israel and challenged them with powerful words. He reminded them of everything God had done, from Abraham's calling to Egypt, Exodus, wilderness, and conquest. Then Joshua declared, "Choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." The people promised to remain faithful. Joshua died knowing that God had kept every promise. Not one word had failed. This part of the Bible shows us that freedom is not just leaving slavery, it is learning to trust God daily. The wilderness teaches patience. The promised land teaches responsibility. God is not only the one who saves, but the one who leads, shapes, and establishes His people. And yet, even after entering the land, the story was far from over. A new struggle was about to begin, not against armies, but within the human heart. The next chapter of the Bible would reveal a cycle of faithfulness, failure, repentance, and rescue. The story continues. After SpaceX survived its final test and Tesla escaped bankruptcy, the world finally started paying attention to Elon Musk. But for Elon, success was never the finish line. It was only proof that bigger risks were possible. While most people would slow down after winning, Elon accelerated. He looked at Earth and saw a problem. Fossil fuels were destroying the planet. Climate change was no longer a theory. It was reality. Elon believed that if humanity wanted a future, energy had to change. That belief pushed Tesla beyond cars. Solar energy, battery storage, and sustainable power became the mission. Tesla was no longer just an automaker. It became a symbol of a cleaner future. But Elon's mind was already far ahead of Earth. He believed humanity had a deadline. One planet was not enough. One disaster could erase everything. So SpaceX was not about rockets. It was about survival. Reusable rockets were called impossible. Experts said it would never work. Elon ignored them. Falcon 9 landed back on Earth. Rockets became reusable. Costs dropped. Space became accessible. History changed. Then came Starlink. Elon saw billions of people without internet access. Education, opportunity, and growth were locked behind connectivity. Starlink satellites filled the sky, bringing high-speed internet to remote villages, oceans, deserts, and war zones. Critics complained. Elon kept building. For him, progress mattered more than applause. Next came Neuralink. The idea terrified people. A brain chip connecting humans to machines sounded like science fiction. Elon saw something else. He saw hope for paralyzed patients, brain injury recovery, and a future where humans could keep up with artificial intelligence. Risky? Yes. Necessary? Elon believed so. Elon Musk became the most talked about man on Earth. Loved by some. Hated by others. Mocked daily. Criticized constantly. But he never chased popularity. He chased outcomes. He worked extreme hours. Slept in factories. Took responsibility when things failed. Took blame when things broke. Leadership, to him, meant ownership. There were public failures. Rocket explosions streamed live. Tesla recalls made headlines. Tweets caused chaos. Fortunes rose and fell. But Elon never hid. He never quit. He believed transparency mattered more than perfection. Elon Musk once said that running his companies felt like staring into the abyss and eating glass. Still, every morning, he showed up. Not because it was easy. Because it was meaningful. His vision remained unchanged. Make life multiplanetary. Accelerate sustainable energy. Protect the future of humanity. These goals were bigger than profit, comfort, or reputation. Elon Musk is not a hero because he succeeds. He is a symbol because he dares. He bets everything on ideas others are too afraid to try. He accepts failure as a cost of progress. He chooses pressure over comfort. And the story is not over. Mars is still waiting. Human potential is still unfolding. The future is still being written. Elon Musk proves one powerful truth. You don't need permission to dream big. You need courage to act when everyone doubts you. The future does not belong to the smartest. It belongs to the bold. And somewhere right now, a kid reading alone, feeling ignored, dreaming quietly, might be preparing to change the world again. As Elon Musk's influence grew, so did the noise around him. The world watched every move, every tweet, every failure, and every success. Critics became louder. Some called him reckless. Some called him arrogant. Others said he was dangerous. Elon listened, but he did not slow down. Controversy followed him everywhere. His bold statements shook stock markets. His decisions confused investors. His honesty offended people used to polished leaders. But Elon never tried to be perfect. He chose to be real. He believed that progress requires risk, and risk invites criticism. When rockets exploded on live streams, the internet mocked him. When Tesla missed deadlines, headlines screamed failure. When Starlink satellites filled the sky, scientists complained. When Neuralink tested brain implants, fear spread. Elon accepted the pressure. He believed that if you are not being criticized, you are probably not doing anything meaningful. Behind the scenes, his life was not glamorous. He took responsibility publicly and pushed privately. Slowly, systems improved. Teams adapted. The impossible became routine. Elon Musk believes that comfort is dangerous. He believes that humans grow only when they are uncomfortable. That belief shaped his vision of the future. A future where humanity does not depend on a single planet. A future where energy is clean and sustainable. A future where technology helps humans instead of replacing them. Mars remains his ultimate goal. Not as a vacation destination, but as a backup for civilization. Elon imagined self-sustaining cities on Mars, powered by solar energy, protected by technology, and built by people willing to risk everything for survival. Many say it will never happen. Elon says it must. Artificial intelligence worries him. Instead of fearing it, he wants humans to evolve alongside it. Neuralink represents that bridge. Not control. Not domination. Survival. A chance for humans to stay relevant in an AI-driven world. Elon Musk does not see limits the way others do. He sees constraints as puzzles. He believes first principles thinking can break any barrier. Question assumptions. Reduce problems to basics. Rebuild from the ground up. That mindset changed rockets, cars, energy, and communication. People still argue about him. Some admire him deeply. Some strongly oppose him. Elon accepts both. He knows history rarely celebrates innovators in their own time. It judges them later, by results. Despite everything, Elon remains focused. Not on fame. Not on wealth. But on impact. He once said he does not want to be a hero. He wants to be useful. The future Elon Musk imagines is not guaranteed. It is fragile. It depends on builders, thinkers, and people willing to face criticism for the sake of progress. That is why his story matters. Not because he is perfect, but because he acts when others hesitate. Elon Musk's journey teaches one final lesson. You will be misunderstood if you dream big. You will be attacked if you challenge systems. You will fail publicly if you attempt the impossible. But if your mission is bigger than your fear, none of that will stop you. The story is still unfolding. The risks are still real. The future is still uncertain. And that is exactly how Elon Musk likes it. Because the future does not reward those who play safe. It rewards those who dare to build it. Elon Musk's story does not end with success. It ends with responsibility. When most people reach the top, they protect their comfort. Elon chose pressure. He chose problems bigger than himself. He chose a future no one could clearly see. He understands one brutal truth. Humanity will not survive by playing safe. Progress is not built by people who wait. It is built by people who act while others doubt. Every rocket launch, every factory night, every public failure was a reminder that the future is earned, not given. Elon Musk never promised an easy path. He promised a meaningful one. He showed that greatness is not about confidence. It is about commitment. It is about showing up again after being humiliated, criticized, and exhausted. It is about believing in a mission even when the entire world tells you to stop. If you are watching this and feeling small, remember this. The man planning cities on Mars once felt invisible. The man changing industries was once laughed at. The man shaping the future was once told he would fail. The only difference between him and most people is simple. He refused to quit. Your dreams do not need approval. They need effort. They need sacrifice. They need patience. No one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is coming. The time to build is now. The time to start is today. History is written by those who take responsibility for the future instead of blaming the present. Elon Musk took that responsibility. And now the question is no longer about him. The question is about you. What will you build when fear tells you to stop? What will you try when failure feels guaranteed? What future will exist because you refuse to give up? If this story moved you, don't let it end here. Take action. Share this video with someone who needs courage today. Subscribe for more stories that challenge comfort and reward ambition. Become part of a community that believes the future belongs to builders. Because the next world-changing idea is not waiting in the past. It is waiting in someone brave enough to start. Maybe that someone is you. The future is not coming. It is being built. And it belongs to those who dare.